Good teams find ways to win. Bad teams find ways to lose.
Man, you guys are fighting till the end, but we got to find a way to close that one out. Disappointing, frustrating with where we were there at the end of the game. But I appreciate how this group's fighting.
The rest of it, it is what it is. Same old story, just a different week.
Welcome to the worst 2 hours of football you have ever seen. The Cleveland Browns are 2-8. 2-8. This isn't just bad football. This is an organizational collapse at a level where people should be losing their jobs. This franchise has somehow mastered the art of losing. They just got completely dismantled by the Baltimore Ravens 23-16 in a game that should be played in every film room in America as a lesson in how not to run a football team. And here's the part that'll make you want to punch a wall. The defense played like absolute warriors. Myles Garrett had 4 sacks. Carson Schlesinger is playing at a Defensive Rookie of the Year level. The defensive line was bulldozing their way into the backfield all night. They held Lamar Jackson to probably his worst game ever against Cleveland, and they still lost. Let me paint you a picture of how this disaster played out, because it's almost poetic in how perfectly it captures everything wrong with this organization.
Kevin, what prompted Dylan's concussion check?
He got checked at halftime. I don't know all the details exactly.
Dylan Gabriel starts the game. He's your rookie quarterback, the guy you drafted to be the future. First half happens, he completes 7 of 10 passes for 68 yards. Nothing spectacular, nothing terrible, just existing. Then he gets checked at halftime for a concussion. Never comes back. That's it. That's your starting quarterback's day. Done. Finished. Evaluated and sent to the shadow round. Enter Shedeur Sanders. 5th round pick, has barely gotten any meaningful reps with the first team all season. And you're throwing him into the fire against the Ravens defense that's salivating at the opportunity to feast on a rookie making his NFL debut. The kid completes his first 2 passes and the stadium goes berserk. People in the stands are losing their minds like they just witnessed the second coming. Finally, something to cheer about. A spark of life in this corpse of a season. And then, reality comes crashing down like a sledgehammer. 7 straight incompletions, pressure coming from every angle. Baltimore defensive coordinator looking at his clipboard thinking, this is almost too easy. They're bringing blitzes from dimensions that don't even exist yet. And Shedeur? He's scrambling, retreating, looking completely overwhelmed. Final stat line, 4 of 16 for 47 yards and an interception. That's not just bad, that's catastrophic. That's the kind of performance that gets people fired and draft boards rewritten. But here's the part that should make every Browns fan absolutely furious. Kevin Stefanski was asked point blank if Shedeur has been getting reps with the starting units. The answer? No, nothing has changed. Dylan's been getting all the reps, all of them. You have a backup quarterback on your roster who you know might have to play at literally any moment. One hit, one awkward fall, one concussion protocol away from being thrust into action, and he's getting 0 preparation with the actual starters he'll be playing with. That's not just poor planning, that's organizational malpractice. That's setting a player up for failure and then acting shocked when he fails spectacularly. Think about the absurdity of this for a second. You're asking a 5th-round rookie to come into a divisional game in the second half against one of the best defenses in the AFC with receivers he's barely practiced with, running routes with timing he's never rehearsed behind an offensive line that's already struggling. And then everyone clutches their pearls when it doesn't work out.
But it gets worse. Oh, it gets so much worse. Let's talk about the offensive line, because this isn't just the weak link. This is the entire chain disintegrating before our eyes.
All right, injury front. Cam Robinson has a right knee injury. We'll MRI that. Dylan's in a concussion protocol. Who was that? Dom Jones has a left knee injury. Jack Conklin has a right knee injury.
Your protection is crumbling. Your quarterback, whichever poor soul is back there, has approximately 1.5 seconds to make a decision before 300-pound humans are crushing him into the turf. And you're still trying to run an offensive system that requires time for routes to develop, for reads to be made, for plays to materialize. It's like trying to build a house during a hurricane. The foundation is gone, the structure is collapsing, and Kevin Stefanski is standing there with a hammer wondering why things aren't working out. Now let's talk about Myles Garrett, because this man deserves his own documentary about what it's like to be excellent on a team that refuses to help you. 4 sacks against Lamar Jackson, not against some static pocket passer, against Lamar Jackson, one of the most mobile, elusive quarterbacks in NFL history, a guy who makes Pro Bowl defensive ends look silly on a weekly basis, and Myles Garrett just absolutely dominated him. This isn't just good football. This is Hall of Fame level generational talent on full display. This is the kind of performance that should be leading highlight reels on every sports show in America, and it still wasn't enough to win the game. Mason Graham had his best game of the season. Carson Schlesinger is making plays all over the field. Mike Hall showed up big. The defense held Derrick Henry, mostly in check. They forced the Ravens to settle for field goals in the red zone. They created pressure. They made tackles. They did literally everything you could ask a defense to do. And the offense gave them nothing in return. Absolute radio silence from the other side of the ball. The defense is out there playing like their lives depend on it, and the offense is sleepwalking through plays like they'd rather be literally anywhere else.
Because Myles Garrett put you in a situation where he almost legitimately keeps you in the football game. I mean, he almost keeps you by himself in any football game. It's kind of crazy that he's that good. And any talk about trading Myles Garrett or moving Myles Garrett and doing whatever thing we talking about, nah, bro.
You know what's legitimately insane? The Browns could have both the Defensive Player of the Year and the Defensive Rookie of the Year on the same team, on a team that's going to finish with maybe 3 or 4 wins. That's not just unfortunate, that's a tragedy. That's a waste of generational talent that this franchise should be ashamed of. Let's have the uncomfortable conversation that Browns fans have been avoiding all season. Kevin Stefanski is not the answer. This offensive system is broken. The game planning is predictable, the adjustments are non-existent, and the excuses are piling up faster than the losses. When asked about Dylan's concussion, Stefanski couldn't even give a straight answer.
Kevin, what prompted Dylan's concussion check?
He got checked at halftime. I don't know all the details exactly.
Your starting quarterback gets his brain scrambled and you don't know what happened? How is that acceptable? How does a head coach not have that information immediately? When asked about Shedeur's performance, he gave the most generic, meaningless coach speak possible.
How Shedeur came in there and played.
Yeah, obviously all players, we'll look at it, but he's going to battle like he does. So I'm sure there's things that we can clean up, but those are things we'll look at tomorrow.
That's not analysis. That's not accountability. That's someone hiding behind platitudes because they don't have real answers. And when pressed about why Shedeur wasn't getting first-team reps when everyone knew he might have to play, Stefanski gave a masterclass in deflection.
Yeah, I understand the question, Mary Kay. I would tell you, you're always trying to get your starter ready to play, and certainly when your starter's a rookie, those are very valuable reps.
Yeah, no kidding. But you have 2 rookie quarterbacks. You can't just ignore one and hope nothing bad happens. This is a coach who won Coach of the Year in 2020 and has been dining out on that accomplishment ever since, while the team slowly deteriorates around him. The offensive system that once looked innovative now looks stale and outdated. Every team in the league knows exactly how to beat Cleveland. Shut down the run, bring pressure, watch the offense fall apart. It's not complicated. It's basic football. Now, to be fair, and we have to be fair even when we're angry, Shedeur showed some legitimate flashes in that final 2-minute drill. Down 7 points. Inside Baltimore territory. 2-minute warning. This is the moment. This is where legends are made, where rookies announce themselves to the league, where careers change trajectory. And Shedeur actually showed some real moxie. He stepped up in the pocket when pressure came. He scrambled for meaningful yards instead of taking killer sacks. He threw the ball downfield with confidence. He didn't look scared. He didn't look overwhelmed. For a few precious minutes, he looked like an actual NFL quarterback.
He didn't lose his poise and he didn't lose his confidence, right? And those are things that you got to give him green checks for. Because let's be real, we seen the body language, man. We seen like the frustration.
Here's what every Browns fan needs to accept right now. This season is over. Not mathematically eliminated yet, but spiritually, emotionally, practically over. The playoffs are a fantasy. Winning the division is impossible. This is officially a lost season.
And the most frustrating part? The defense is playing at an elite level. This isn't a team that's bad everywhere. This is a team that's championship caliber on one side of the ball and high school JV on the other.
You waste a stellar effort from Myles Garrett. The defense played really, really good for the most part of the game. I thought that last play when they came with Andrews on that sweep.
Every single opponent knows the formula now. It's been figured out. Stop Nick Chubb and the running game from getting going early, bring pressure up the middle, make the quarterback uncomfortable, watch the offense sputter and die. It's worked for 8 teams already. It'll work for the remaining opponents too. The Ravens are cruising toward a division title. They're putting together winning streaks and looking like legitimate Super Bowl contenders. Meanwhile, the Browns are actively tanking their way toward a top 5 draft pick, whether they're trying to or not. So what's next for this dumpster fire of a franchise? When asked directly if Shedeur will start if Dylan doesn't clear protocol, Stefanski gave the shortest answer of the press conference. Yes. There it is, the reality we're all about to face. Give Shedeur Sanders the starting job for the rest of the season. Not because he earned it with that performance, not because he's definitively better than Dylan Gabriel, but because you have 7 games left and absolutely nothing to lose. Give him the full week of practice. Give him all the first-team reps. Build the game plan around what he does well. Let him throw deep. Let him scramble when pressure comes. Stop trying to force him into a system that doesn't fit and adapt the system to fit him. If he flames out spectacularly, fine. You know he's not the guy and you move on. If he shows legitimate development and flashes of franchise quarterback potential, even better. You might have accidentally stumbled into finding your quarterback in the 5th round. But keeping him on the bench, giving him no reps, and then acting surprised when he struggles in emergency duty, that's insanity. That's organizational dysfunction at its finest. This loss to Baltimore wasn't just another L in the loss column. This was a perfect encapsulation of everything wrong with the Cleveland Browns in 2024. A defense playing lights out with no support, an offense that can't execute basic plays, an offensive line that's literally injured and ineffective, a quarterback situation that's a complete mess, and a coaching staff that seems perpetually one step behind, always reacting, never proactively solving problems. Myles Garrett is putting together a Defensive Player of the Year campaign on a team that might not win 4 games. That sentence should make everyone in the organization ashamed. You have a generational talent in his prime, and you're wasting it with offensive incompetence. The nightmare continues. The Browns keep losing, and somewhere in Cleveland, fans are already looking at 2025 draft prospects, wondering which quarterback they'll take with their top 5 pick, hoping that will finally be the one who changes everything. Same old Browns, different year, different quarterbacks, different excuses, same crushing, soul-destroying disappointment. Welcome to Cleveland football, where hope goes to die and defensive stars go to waste.